at Kauffman Stadium.
We are so glad to be here at Kauffman Stadium for School Day at the K. Lots of live coverage here at Kauffman Stadium to bring you. We're inside the Diamond Club here at Kauffman Stadium, and it's all lit up outside. The fountains are on. There's 41s all over Kauffman Stadium this morning for School Day because we've got thousands of kids coming out today.
5,000 kids going to come watch our whole weather team and Science City do these awesome science experiments, and then stick around for the Twins-Royals game. After that, it's going to be a really great day out here at Kauffman Stadium. Let's get to meteorologist Lindsay Anderson. Linz, you've been getting ready for this for a long time. So
first, let's talk about the fog, though. First, because it's scary outside right now in some spots of town, right?
I mean, us even driving here to the K was quite intense. We're talking visibility less than a quarter of a mile. I mean, actually probably less than that, less than 100 feet in some instances. So pretty scary situation for our early morning drivers. You're going to notice when you pass open fields or grassy parks, even the Missouri River, that's where you're going to notice some of the denser fog. But here's a look outside on our camera. I wanted to show you our Bordner Skyview network out at the Power and Light Apartments. So that camera is way up high in the sky, but if you look close to the ground, you can see that layer of fog that we're talking about. So that layer of fog is what could certainly slow you down for your morning commute today and could make things quite dangerous. I have to say, driving here to work and then here to the K was a little scary in some situations in some spots. So current visibility right now about a mile to a quarter mile or less in a lot of locations. It looks like some of the denser fog is through eastern Kansas and even into northwestern Missouri. It doesn't look as bad towards Richmond and Lexington, where those visibilities are about 5 miles, but still this patchy dense fog is certainly going to be with us all morning long. So for your entire morning commute, I would plan on that extra time. Dense fog advisories for our entire area until 9 a.m. Temperatures right now are running in the 40s. Dew points also in the 40s, and with a light wind, that's why we're dealing with this fog development close to the ground. So we've got Daniela Leone. She's been driving around the city for us, finding some of those dense, foggy areas that we have to watch for. Daniela, what are you experiencing out there this morning?
Hey, good morning, Lindsay. Right now we're coming across 18th and Vine. I want to show you guys kind of a look right now at our drive cam. You can see the fog is very dense out here in this section of the metro. It's very patchy, like you mentioned, Lindsay. There are some areas that are definitely better than others. Either way, you definitely want to prepare to give yourself enough time, because I do predict a lot of cars, a lot of drivers, I should say, are going to be taking their time getting through and navigating their way through this fog like we are. For example, right now we're going like 5 miles below the speed limit, and there's not a whole lot of cars right now at 5 a.m. But, you know, once it picks back up, make sure you give yourself enough distance between you and the car in front of you, and just be careful out there because the visibility is being heavily impacted by this dense fog. Guys.
All right, Daniela, thank you very much. Be careful out there this morning.
And if you can't tell from where Daniela is driving there, she's in a pretty bright spot where she's driving through. Think about your commute this morning, and if you know a spot that is especially dark, if you go someplace that doesn't have a whole lot of street lighting, that kind of thing, that's going to be maybe your worst spot of the drive this morning, because we noticed it on the way here. We had to go 5 to 10 miles an hour at one spot this morning because of how dark it was.
Even intense fog,
so just be aware of that. We'll continue to track that throughout the morning. But for now, let's talk more about School Day at the K, because that is why we are here at Kauffman Stadium this morning. So excited to have so many kids come out today and learn some science.
Years in the making, we've been getting ready for this. Let's get to meteorologist Lindsay Anderson. What are these kids going to see today, Linz?
We are so excited because we've got things that are going to be flying up in the air, actually multiple experiments that will be flying up in the air. And what's really neat is the crews here with the Royals and at Kauffman are going to let us go to the pitcher's mound. They're going to let us be at second base. I mean, we got to be kind of all over the place before the players get going for the game and first pitch at 1:10 this afternoon, hoping that this fog lifts by the time kids are starting to file in. I think by 9:30, things are going to be looking a whole lot better at that point. Temperatures still may be a little cool, so if you have a kid, a student coming out to school day, layers might be important. I think we're going to start off in the 50s for school day, and then maybe climbing into the 60s by the time they're out at the parking lot with a lot more activities that we have set up. But boy, we've got some really cool science experiments. I believe 7 or 8 experiments. It's going to be about an hour-long show. All of us are going to be here. Gary, Wes, Jeff, myself, and even you guys, Lindsay Taylor. You guys are going to kind of be walking around the stands, chatting with the kiddos. So we are really excited. All hands on deck today with school day beginning at 10 a.m.
Yeah, we have some learning to do. We're going to sit back and pay attention.
I think a little bit. I just hope someone tells.
We're ready for this.
Like Wes and Gary especially, that they have to eventually get off the field before the game starts, because I can see both of them just kind of throwing on a hat and a jersey and saying, listen, I can play shortstop. Wes, Beery,
put me in, coach.
So lots of coverage out here
Linz.
live at Kauffman Stadium this morning. For now, let's get back to Ray Daniel in our studio, continue to follow the news of the day. Ray?